Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. This is a thrift haul video, and I have, well, for a few months now, I've been using the hashtag Thrifty Canucks and Thrifty Thursday. The Thrifty Canucks hashtag was started by Kim Newberg, Canadian, and the Thrifty Thursday was started by Sherry at Turquoise Dreaming. So I encourage you to check out, use the hashtag to find other thrifting videos if that's what you love. I think a lot of us do. We get a vicarious thrill and maybe the odd pang of jealousy when we see some of the things that others have found. I will get right to it. This is, I guess, probably a bit of a few things here. I made this part here front and center because when I did the last thrift haul video, of course, I can't usually get everything all right here in front of me. And of course, the minute I turned the tape off or the camera off, I realized, oh, darn, I forgot two good things. So in the meantime, of course, there's no moss growing under this kid. This is, well, 3 sections, 2 bigger and 1 smaller, sections or bundles of crocheted lace, well, lace, I guess, that was attached to a twin-size bed skirt. This is the bed skirt, and I have to say, this was really a good purchase. I mean, twin, of course, is the smallest bed size that there is, but it was marked at $4, but I got it on a 50% off linen day. So this part that is pleated and where the this crocheted stuff would have been attached is 100% cotton. This other part, which is the part that would be under the mattress, is a poly cotton. So, I mean, obviously there's a lot of material here to work with. I believe I measured this, and at the widest point, it is 7 inches wide. So I'm glad I hung in there and included that one. In the meantime, I got all the trim off. Okay, the next thing is was priced. It's a pillow sham. It was priced at $2, but purchased at the same time, and it is so it was $1. And I kind of like it because it's almost like, it reminds me of that Delft blue china, that you see on vases and dinner sets and so on. So, and I've said it before, that sometimes, it's almost maybe a blessing when we get smaller quantities of something, because it means we can actually start a project, use it up, and, on to the next new old thing. So that's that. This, oh, and just forgive me if I've already shown you this. I kind of, this was from an outdoor antique mall. No, this was from a Vintage Day thing. And I bought this, and it had, you know what, I think I've mentioned this in a thrift video already. I guess the only thing that has changed since that time is that it had been glued in some kind of a fancy dancy thing like this. I didn't like that one little bit, so I took them apart, I separated them, and now they are ready to use. So anyway, now I know this can be put away. Okay, at a recent outdoor market, vintage market in Edmonton, it was just like a parking lot sale. I picked this up for $2. Now, the original price was $25. Now, come on. I realize that this, like I would say, this is a Ukrainian pattern. I've done cross stitch myself. I know how what it takes to do it. I know the hours of, you know, strain on eyes and hands. But, yeah, $2 sounds a heck of a lot better than 25. Just saying. Okay, let me show you this, too. I should try to separate these things. How did they... Oh, they zip-tied them together. Let me get some scissors here. Anyway, this two-piece thing was $3, and I forever have had a weakness for little pouches and little zippered containers and so on. And I have many. I have, you know, some lovely ones in leather and so on, different sizes from different purposes. And I just thought that this is sort of that plasticky feeling stuff, which means that it's wipeable and it's pristine inside. And I thought, you know, when I pack for my annual retreat to our timeshare, I'm always looking for containers that can contain different categories of things. So I really didn't need this. However, I did buy it. What can I say? Okay, same place, 50 cents. Now this I will run through the dishwasher. I have several of these of my own, excuse me, in different sizes and heights and so on. So this kind of just complements my existing selection. And I have begun converting or moving studio supplies into these kinds of items, because then I can arrange them. And of course, something square or rectangular butts up nicely to its neighbor as opposed to circular items. See-through, of course, makes it visible. And when the vision I have is that I will be able to, either behind closed doors or on my open bookcases, line these things up so that they are visible and artfully displayed and so on, but more importantly, more functional for how I do things. This dirty little thing I didn't wipe yet. This was also bought at that little sidewalk or parking lot vintage thing. I think that I hoped, let's just try. So these things these Distress Oxide and Distress Ink pads could fit in here. I don't have very many of them. I keep trying different options for storing them in a way that is, kind of functional and doesn't take up too much space. I thought it was funny, and I did chuckle to myself the other day when I watched Marnell's Mimi's Keepsake video. It was a thrifting video, and she was talking about the the disappointment or the inconvenience with those Tim Holtz little metal storage boxes. And I too, like monkey see, monkey do, back in the day, I had to have that thing too. And I bought them on a sale, but still, if it's no darn good for your needs, then it doesn't matter how cheap it was still too much. Anyway, those things are not very user-friendly. So I feel like ripping the insert out and using them for some other purpose. The advantage is that they have that clear, that window at the top. So maybe that can be salvaged. But yeah, I don't have many of the oxides, and I would like to be able to have them near me. Maybe I'll just keep putting stuff in here and talk about this near the end. I picked up, I was in a city yesterday doing some blood work and stopped into one of the thrift stores and found these it says, remember this. The brand is Making Memories, 2010, so I don't know how long they've been around. But anyway, they're lovely. They've got the velvet ribbon, kind of a bejeweled little frame. Actually, why don't we take one out and have a better look at it? A look without glare. Paid $1 each for these. Probably just, am I going to be able to peel this off easily? That glue has had a long time to set. Of course, I don't know if this has been kicking around somewhere since 2010, but so, you know, they're relatively flat, and I think that they're obviously very pretty, and that's why I bought. There were two, and I bought them both. Okay, I will work at this on my own time. So there was that. Oops. Can't get rid of that gooey stuff now. I guess they're called glue dots, isn't that it? Those super strong things. Okay, the book price is, well, I'll show you this first. This, and I opened this just because I couldn't wait for you. I paid $1.50 for this plastic thing, and it's, I don't know, I'll probably end up donating that away. I'll show you what's in here, and maybe you can help me solve a mystery. I don't know what this is. And there are two of them, one in white, one in black. So somebody has obviously wrapped, I guess that's just sewing thread around these things. Now, I don't think this is the ultimate, you know, like this wouldn't seem to me to be the ultimate purpose. Like, I'm thinking that these blue plastic things are just a tool. But what you do with this now, how you get it off there and use the woven part is beyond me. So if somebody knows the answer, please clue me in. There are, you know, several started spools of thread. Not the greatest brands in the world. But, you know, thread is thread, and for most of what we're doing, I don't think it makes a great deal of matter if it's not really top-notch thread. As long as you can make it go through your sewing machine. This is kind of gross. A needle threader. Let me get rid of it. Well, I'll just put it out of sight. Some piping tips for like cake decorating. So I don't do any of that. A couple of steel bobbins, and I don't think any of my sewing machines, and I do have a few. Ooh, that's a rusty one. I don't think any of them take this. I can obviously use the thread off here just for hand sewing. Now there are a couple of I didn't realize there were two. I opened one yesterday. I think that these might be a sewing machine. I was going to say sewing machine bulbs, but that might not be right. I don't know. I don't know what that is. You would need a certain kind of, I don't know. I guess I could show my husband, see if he can solve the mystery. Of course, it doesn't say anything on the box to give you a hint. I think even though the boxes are not exactly the same, I think that the, does it say 110 volt, 20 watts. Doesn't that solve a mystery and a half? Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all this stuff right back in the bin. This is a handy thing, and I may just, I guess they want to fall out. I'll probably take them off here and put them into a little tin or something, or add them to my needle book. It seems to me there are never enough of these long pins. Now, there were a couple of these old needle books. I've never seen this particular design, and they're identical. Imported by Montrose Industries, Montreal. Now, in each case, there is one section and no, these are plastic. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do I have enough needles now? Probably. So in this one, that one is missing. And in this one is missing. So I'll have to, oh, and that's probably where this thing came from, the needle threader, because I see there's a hole there. So I will obviously figure out what to do with these. Some of those needles have very tiny eyes. I cannot imagine, like, what in the world would you thread through there? And how many days would it take to get it into there? I think obviously for most of us, the bigger the eye, the better. There are also these hand sewing needles as well. I don't know where these have come from. As I said, this is plastic. Anyway, I'll add that to my needle collection. So, I have a lot of scissors. And as you know, some are better than others. Luckily, there is an old man about maybe 20 minutes or 25 minutes away from where I live, who does sewing machine repair and sharpens scissors. So these, now do I have fabric here? This one, I don't know. Can you see what a big space there is between those two blades? One of these was oh, this is the one that with the really big space. I don't know if you can see that or not. I tried each of these out on paper yesterday and was pleasantly surprised. But then I was thinking, oh, brother, did I just ruin some fabric scissors? This is the better pair of the two, I would say. I thought it struggled a bit I thought both of them struggled a bit, to be honest, with fabric. But I can add them to my pile. Okay, it says Richard Sheffield Speedway. And you can just tell that they came made in England. Now, does that say silver plate? I can't, that's rubbed out. This pair, is that Utah? That almost doesn't look like, I don't know, I shouldn't say. I will add these two items to the pile, or the pile, I would say, of scissors that I will take to them, because I kind of take them in batches. So I think it is definitely worth the investment to pay a guy who knows what he's doing to sharpen scissors, as opposed to a good pair of old scissors, as opposed to, keep buying some of the newer ones that, maybe have a shorter lifespan. At the same place I got these things that I've shown you last, linens were on, no, they weren't on sale there. This is a tablecloth, fairly big. And I picked it up because I think she charged me. Did I put the receipt away? Oh yeah, linens were 50% off. So I paid $1 for this. Now, I wouldn't have bought it if it would have been any brighter, but this is sort of kind of a buttery yellow, so I can see using this. I can also experiment with it and see how it would take some dye. You know, I'm sure it's synthetic, so that may not work as well as I hope. Okay, this place also sells all their books for, well, I found out that's not quite right. They sell most of their adult books for 50 cents and kids' books are 25, except in this case, it was 50 cents for this one. And I will tell you in a minute why I chose these particular books. They all have sewn-in signatures. The price was definitely right. And yeah, I'll tell you right now. Okay, I was watching, I believe her name is Kelly at Book and Journal Arts. I believe that's correct. And she, of course, had done another video on altering books. And she talked at some length about what you want to look for in a book. You want it to be a skinny book. So maybe I'll just use this Cinderella one as an example. So a skinny book. Now, she didn't talk about using children's books. She was talking about using other books. These kids' books, I think, would work because they sort of meet the criteria she was talking about. So skinny books, sewn-in signature, and books that lie flat. So her premise is that you find the center of the signature. So in this case, this is the center of the signature. So I would remove this, and then you can see that I've added paper clips. So, and there are 2 signatures in this book. So I would remove the center page from each of the 2 signatures, and then I've grouped together, I believe it's 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be then glued together. That would become the basis of the altered book. And then, of course, you know, you can gesso the more, you know, reinforced pages. So this would be, you know, 4 pages thick. This would be gone. This would be 4 pages thick. So I'd end up with only 4 pages, but they would have been reinforced and would be ready to gesso, collage on, you know, do whatever art journal-y type stuff you want to do. Oh, I should show you this one last book. I picked this one up, paid 50 cents for it. It's tiny. You can see it fits easily into my hand. And sewn signatures. Nice size, which means all of these pages can be removed and used as, you know, in other books. And basically, you know, really nice title. Quote at the back. It's a Hallmark gift book. Got a cute little spine, an attached ribbon. So I just think that these are so perfect for, you know, removing the guts. See this one, now with this one, no, this one would never stay flat. That could make a cute altered book if it only stayed a little flatter. And she goes through that whole, and I'll try to link that video, or if not the video, then at least put her name and so on in the description box below. Anyway, okay, enough about books. Can't believe I said that. Enough about books. Okay. The other thing that I bought at this place, and I paid, I think she charged me $2 for it, was this little suede purse. And you can see that I removed the little handle. I removed the little doohickeys that say it's genuine leather. And I opened up some of the seams. Now, I haven't cut the lining out yet, but I guess I could. Now, my next step is going to be to figure out what to do with this. What I'm thinking, and again, this, some of it is a bit grungy looking. I don't know if I might have suede cleaner, or I might have something to stick down and cover that. I'm leaving these two little D-rings on here for the time being. It looks like this would come off quite nicely. Probably if I just pried this open, it would pop out. But for now, I'm not doing anything about that. This will be a little touchier. I mean, obviously, I can use that screwdriver. I use a screwdriver and get that off. Maybe I should try that right now while you guys are here. Hopefully, my little screwdriver is strong enough to do that. Basically, I liked the color and the feel of the suede, and I wanted to give this a shot. And I thought, okay, I can show you the purse. Oh my God, what a cute little, look at this. I can show you, Bianca Nygaard. I can show you the little purse, or I can begin the deconstruction and show you in more probably meaningful terms what my plan is, or what my attempt here is going to be. Okay, so we can see that that is now, okay, the only way I'm going to get this off is by opening up this seam, which, I don't know, how long have we been at this? I guess I have a couple of minutes. I could probably see how quickly that'll go for me. Where is what I was using? Now again, that might not have been the smartest choice. I was using sort of a craft knife. Now, of course, you have to be very careful when doing this. Oh, it's going a little better than I thought it would. So I'll have this piece of leather, and that will allow me to open up the, to get that metal doohickey off. It also exposes this part. I think my little puny screwdriver might not be sufficient there. I don't know whether, like early on in this 100-day challenge or series that I'm doing, 100-day project, one of the things that I had some scrap pieces off leather, and what I did was I ran them through my Big Shot and was able to, yeah, that's going to take more than finger strength to get that lifted. I ran the leather through my Big Shot and used some cutting dies, some dies to cut out some shapes. And I was pretty pleased with how that worked. Okay, so I've got that. And I suppose if I was very super organized, I'd put this back together. Why does it not want to? And I'd put the little screw back in. Huh. So now I can continue to, I'll probably just rip this off, take the lining off. Now there's a little zipper there that could be salvaged, or I could what would be better, oh, and another little pocket here for a small phone. Okay, what I will do here is cut this in such a way that I keep the pocket intact. Won't that be clever? Is it going to be too wide for most journals, though? Although I suppose it could be put, yeah, 5 and a little, about 5 3/4. So it could probably be done vertically on a page. I will remove this label because, you know, saving labels is a good thing as well. And of course, I could also save this, although this is quite a deep pocket. If a person used it in a journal, you would be able to, well, this is probably too wide. You'd be able to put a lot of stuff in there and it would really bulk it up. So that's probably, once I remove the pocket, I could maybe figure out a way to make it more shallow so it doesn't hold as much stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this, I must say. Once I get, and of course, let me keep things real here. By the time you see this video, because I tape thrifting videos as I acquire the things. So the 100-day project will be over by the time you see this particular video. And that means that I will hopefully have started another series of some kind, or I'm just doing sort of general-ish interest videos. So, you know, some of these things that you've been seeing over the last weeks and months will in fact be coming back as I need content to create and want to get at using some of these things. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because I'm at the end. And thank you for joining me. If you are here as a regular subscriber, thank you for tuning in. The thrifting videos tend to get a lot of views and or more views, let's say. I know that it's sort of a vicarious thing, you know, where you get to see really what people value and like and score and blah, blah, blah. So if you're here as a regular subscriber, thanks for the support and the loyalty. If you have found me for the first time, please consider subscribing. We are on our way to the 500 subscriber mark, which I think is kind of certainly a milestone. And that will be a wonderful reason to do a giveaway. So, of course, as with every giveaway, you need to be a subscriber in order to enter and possibly win. So you help me, I help you. Life is good. Anyway, thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.